You see, the problem with depression isn't as much about how I feel. I understand how I feel, and I'm partially fine with it. I have days where I don't want this to go on, and I have only slightly better days too. You see, it's not as much about how I feel. It's about how terrible I suppose I make others feel with my presence, with my constant sighs, with my recluse, with my discontentment about everything. I know it's utterly annoying to be in the presence of such a killjoy, and yet I can't help it. I try, believe me, I do. I try and fake smiles so people can be free of the necessity to constantly ask me why I'm so miserable. Or worse, why do I pretend to be so sad? But I know not how to answer that. Relationships, love, people trying to cheer me, trying to make me happy so desperately. They do things that makes me feel endeared, but the thing that they want me to feel, happiness, I can never seem to find it. I know not why I'm such a blue person, I just am. Of course, if I go really deep into it, I can pinpoint copious amounts of memories that acted as catalysts to my condition. But inherently, I suppose I was always predisposed to be this way. I was always the timid and sad child. But there's no particular reason to stay this way now. I have a lot of things that would make someone else jealous, envious perhaps. But still, it's just nearly impossible for me to look at this so-called bright side that everyone keeps talking about, or for that matter, see any good in myself. It's very difficult to admit to being depressed, because it's generally a word associated with a phase, a temporary condition. Oh, I'm so depressed today. Oh, the weather is so depressing. The word is so trivialized, but you see, it isn't a phase for me. It's a condition. And it's lingered and loomed over my head for 13 long years. 13 was also the age where I tried to end it all for the first time. Not saying that I've been a miserable person all this while, but if there was a bar graph for it, the happy yellow bars would be dwarfed and plunged into non-existence compared to the blue and grey ones. Initially, I sought asylum in religion for my condition, hoping that the Nazarene or the dancing gods would show me some kindness and perhaps fill my soul with glee. But talking to them is no different than talking to a piece of stone. It's a dull, one-sided communication. Then science and philosophy told me that this is all that we have. But even that revelation didn't fill me with some great burst of energy to go out and accomplish great things. So I moved on and asked the same question to the bottom of a bottle. But 2 hours of numbness isn't really what I would call an answer. Then sought solace in hobbies and passions. But even though I'm blessed with so many creative talents to use as outlets, these talents don't overshadow the abyss that constantly tries to suck me in. There are days where I feel like doing something, but the slightest criticism of what I want to do makes me feel so hopeless that I embrace the fact that I'll never truly accomplish anything in life. Nothing gives me peace, nothing makes me happy. And no matter what I create, I'm never content with it. This monologue is no different either. I still try and fail miserably. And I understand it's a futile thing, yet I keep following this doomed pattern of self-expression to self-annihilation. You know, the core of the condition is the age-old question: what is the meaning of it all? Existentialism, my constant companion, my only muse. Though you have great big names saying that meaning is what you make, to me, perhaps because of this condition, it all sounds like a load of bollocks. I don't know about the others who suffer a synonymous malady and how they cope with it. I mean, I see their testimonials all the time, but it doesn't make me feel like I'm not alone. It makes me feel, well, nothing, quite honestly. I don't feel it's powerful, neither do I feel some great sense of familiarity. I try so hard to reach out to family and friends, but they all seem so distant now. Too caught up in their complex, or maybe trivial, thoughtscapes. Maybe I've made them distant with my psychological self-imposed exile. They try to reach out sometimes. They call me, but I see the phone ringing and it upsets me. It upsets me greatly. It upsets me because I don't know how to answer. What do I say? What do I talk about? What if I say something wrong? There's only matter enough to speak for 30 seconds and then I have to pretend to be interested in what they have to say without sounding bored or irritable. I have to keep a conversation going because if I'm quiet, they're going to ask me dreadful questions like, "Are you okay?" How do I answer that? How do I answer such a question? Do they not know I've been this way for ages now? On a side note though, I'm utterly clueless why I dread phone calls. Even from anonymous numbers, it's just too much pressure to talk. Even from people I just meet, it's very difficult to talk on the phone. I wonder how many job opportunities I've lost because I couldn't pick up the phone. Jobs are another concern though. Can't hold on to one because can't pretend to be enjoying this farce. One day in and I'm almost certain everyone hates me. So I need to convince myself that I don't need the money and I'll manage somehow. Between days of not sleeping, then sleeping for 20 hours in a go. Between days of not eating, then stuffing down so much that it upsets my delicate internal balance. Between days of being apathetic to a rush of such immense emotion that you become hysteric, or worse, catatonic. Between days of shutting yourself off to the world, to days where you would pay for someone to just sit for a few minutes with you. Between days of great majestic creative overflow, to days where I'm so blank, people think I'm brain dead. Between days of being scared of non-existence, to days where I rather welcome it. The only remedy I personally see is dying. Suicide, if that word does not make you wet your bloody diapers. Suicide. How people gasp at the mere mention of it, like it's affecting them directly somehow. Like they know why a person would consider doing that. Every idiot with their free advice. Oh, what of the parents? What of the people you leave behind? Be strong, you're selfish. And you free advice giving fecal matter? You're an egregious monstration of the human condition. Then there are people who say that you're alive because you want to live. No, I'm terrified of the act of killing myself. And the aftermath, which is most certainly oblivion. And the only reason I go on is because I understand that it would cause pain to others. They will feel the guilt that they could not read the signs. I understand that all too well. I don't want to inflict such torture on people who love me. So I torture myself instead. Every day, going through this series of meaningless events we call life. It's scary, the isolation, since most people won't understand what I'm rambling about. You can't know what it's like till you haven't gone through it, and I honestly don't wish this upon anyone either. There's another breed of people that keep telling me how brave I am, that depressed people are somehow brave for living with this gloom. Their motivating words nauseate me. I know their heart is in the right place, but it all seems like verbal diarrhea they spew from their vacuous minds because they want me to feel good. All this sympathizing romanticism nauseates me. I don't need your encouraging words. Nothing anyone can say will make me feel better. I don't want to talk about my feelings either. There's only so much you can share before it becomes tiresome for people. This rant of mine isn't supposed to accomplish anything. I neither want care nor support, nor empty words to lift my spirits. And please, no remedial incantations. I don't want your help or your pity. All that I ask is that you let me be. Yes, it's a very selfish thing to say, but it would be disingenuous if I said something else instead. I can never be the person you can rely on for your emotional momentary breakdowns. I can never be the dependable one, no matter how much I strive for it. And I understand these qualities aren't desirable ones for human interaction, but I don't have a choice anymore, I think. I thought it was a skill set that maybe I could learn to suppress my overwhelming misery and be a better person for other people. But the more I tried, the more the vacuum of grey sucked me in. So don't think I'm avoiding you if I don't answer your phone. Don't think I'm in a foul mood if I cannot contribute to a conversation. Don't think my doom and gloom talks are because my heart was broken. And don't think it's because you did something. Don't think I'm pretending. Trust me, I try. Trust me, I smile for your sake so you wouldn't have to try too hard. Trust me, I don't share my issues with you because I don't want to burden you with the need to try and make me feel better. I understand everyone has a lot on their plates. I have no motive behind this rant, and this is a pretty clear explanation of what depression feels like to me. Utter despair with nothing to prove and nothing to accomplish. I want no pity or no promises of care. I want nothing except to be. I know I'm a dog running after a car, and even if I were to catch it, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I have spent half my life trying to be happy because that's what people expected me to be, trying to pursue an idea of happiness. But I know that if I were to find it now, I would not know what to do with it anymore. So I guess I'm going to relish my melancholy till I can relish it no more.